American empire is coming to an end. The U.S. economy is being drained by wars in the Middle East and vast military expansion across the globe. It is burdened by growing deficits, along with the devastating effects of deindustrialization and global trade agreements. Our democracy has been captured and destroyed by corporations that steadily demand more tax cuts, more deregulation, and impunity from prosecution for massive acts of financial fraud, all the while looting trillions from the U.S. Treasury in the form of bailouts. The nation has lost the power and respect needed to induce allies in Europe, Latin America, Asia, and Africa to do its bidding. Add to this the mounting destruction caused by climate change, and you have a recipe for an emerging dystopia. Overseeing this descent at the highest levels of the federal and state governments is a motley collection of imbeciles, con artists, thieves, opportunists, and warmongering generals. And yes, I am also speaking about the Democratic Party. The empire will limp along, steadily losing influence until the dollar is dropped as the world's reserve currency, plunging the United States into a crippling depression and instantly forcing a massive contraction of our military machine. Short of a sudden and widespread popular revolt, which does not seem likely, the death spiral appears unstoppable, meaning the United States as we know it will no longer exist within a decade, or at most two.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. I like to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone to whom I learn this truth. Salutations to my brothers at COZ, the children of Zion, to whom I labor with. And to the men out there on the highway and the hedges, risking their lives now more so than ever, to you I say shalom. I'm the brother Ibad, back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi. Lord willing, it be edifying. All right, in Jeremiah 28 and 8, so this is the message that the men of the Lord has been conveying for years. All right, and myself, who has just come into this thing as of late, within like the last 4 to 5 years per se. All right, entering into that labor and picking up the torch and continuing to further this word. This is what the men of the Lord have been out there telling you. All right, and just as you heard it from this Edomite, they know, see, the Edomites who are tapped into the system, the ones that watch, the ones that has an idea of how this government works, how laws work, how an economy works. All right, they know exactly and expertly exactly what's going on. And not that we need, us who are in this truth, we don't need them to validate anything we believe or know, but we just used it. We use the I like to say the people of this society who have priority or privilege, right, to further validate and back up exactly what we're saying and what we're prophesying. All right, it says the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And this is exactly what's coming. You see, World War III is going to happen. It's not if, but when. Tensions are at an all-time high, and you heard them. It says that this empire, right, the American empire, which he said is coming to an end. They lost the respect to garner allies abroad. All right, the nations no longer respect this place. And it's just a matter of time before the dollar is dropped as the world currency. And you see the people who go about their day to day, they may come across this, and they continue to go on with their day. And they say, yeah, whatever, man. Things seem to be going back to normal. They're dropping the mandates. And, look at England. Look at all these places just dropping it. Okay. You think that's it? You think that's how all of this just works? All right. Look at the debt ceiling. It just hit $30 trillion. The U.S. is $30 trillion in debt. I mean, come on, man. What more signs do you need? All right. The pestilence, you got this, I can't even say the word, but you got this whole fake. I'm not even gonna say fake, but you got this magical solution that they put in the air that's causing all sorts of problems and causing people to be divided. Who got it? Who don't? All right. The evil that's taking place. People just looting. Losing their mind. You see on the video in New York City, people pushing people onto the train stations. Pregnant women getting killed. I mean, all of these things are taking place, and they are increasing. And so this is what we prophesied to our people, man, telling them that they need to get right. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, and we are prophesying the end of this place, and that's the vibration that the testimony of Yahawashi carries, because ultimately is his kingdom that's going to be set up. And in order for the kingdom of heaven to be set up, this kingdom has to go down. So you have to talk about it by default. You got to talk about the end of this kingdom, the end of this empire. And if you don't believe me or none of the men who come in like manner, how much more the people who have privilege and priority in this society? You see, they know exactly what's up. And they're telling you, they're just flat out telling you, hey, this a wrap. All right, it's a wrap. So you can keep on acting like, everything's all good, but it's not all good. Inflation is through the roof. All right, pay attention, man. You got to wake up, snap out of it. Daniel 2:21. All right, and he changeth the times and the seasons. All right, who changes the times and the seasons? The Most High God, Yahawah. Right, and he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. So the Lord is in the time of removing the king of this world. All right, he's going to remove, and who's the king of this world? People might say, oh, all y'all do is talk about Esau. Well, you have to talk about him. He's in the power seat. That's right. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is in the power seat. So by default, you have to bring this man up. You have to prophesy against him because he's the one that controls, the happenings in this world. All right, he's the one that the Lord set up to rule this wicked world. And he's in the time of removing this king, and he's going to set up one who is profitable, right? Which is his son, Yahawashi. All right, so we are in that time. We're in that time where he's getting ready to uproot the king of this world. All right, just got a few more scriptures, and then I'm going to wrap it up. All right. 2nd Esdras 9:5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And you see, these Edomites, they know exactly that this place is coming to an end. They know that their government has ultimately betrayed them and sold them out. They don't have their best interests. They know these things. All right. Look at the video. You see the look on all these people's face? They're in disbelief, but yet and still their pride won't let them fully come to the realization that, okay, this is really it. You see that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Don't Look Up. And towards the end of it, he said, we really did have everything. And because these people are so used to having everything, you know, in this wicked kingdom, this, you know, they feel entitled. Their pride won't allow them to conceive the thought of them losing their power, of them being first. All right. So the end is manifest. And here it is. They're just, you know, they're telling you that it's a wrap for this place. And it's just a matter of time. All right. Let me get this scripture and this will be it. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Right? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Right? For Esau is the end of the world. So at the end of this world, all right, Esau will be ruling. And who is Esau? All right, because this is talking about the time of the end. Not that the world's going to stop, but at the end of this rulership. So again, for those of you who say all you got to do is talk about Esau, the so-called, you have to. I mean, you have to talk about, because he's ruling. He's the one telling you got to put on the mask. You got to stand 6 feet. He put these mandates, these decrees in place. You got to take the snake venom or you can't work. You can't support your family. You can't go to this venue. Right? For Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So there's another rule, another kingdom to come. And Jacob represents the children of Israel. His name was changed to Israel. All right. And Yahawashi is going to come and he's going to be reigning in the kingdom to come. And he's going to put us on the love. He's going to completely subdue the people of this world and put them into subjection of the nation of Israel. All right. It says the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other question Esdras asked. Esdras asked thou not. I answered then and said, O Lord, thou bearest rule. If I find favor in thy sight, I beseech thee, shew thy servant the end of thy tokens, whereof thou showedest me part the last night. So he answered and said unto me, stand up upon thy feet and hear a mighty sounding voice, and it shall be as it were a great motion, but the place where thou standest shall not be moved. So this was a vision, all right, a hologram per se, that the Lord is showing Esdras. And therefore, when it speakest, be not afraid, for the word is of the end, and the foundation of the earth is understood. And why? Because the speech of these things trembleth and is moved, for it knoweth the end of the things must be changed. And it happened that when I heard and stood upon my feet and hearkened, and behold, there was a voice that spake, and the sound of it was like the sound of many waters. And it said, behold, the days come when I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. And this is how we know we're at the end, because our affliction is being fulfilled. And when the world shall begin to vanish away, shall be finished, then I will show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And that is this word going out over the internet. All right. And this world is beginning to vanish away. How do we know? Verse 22. Check this out. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be empty. And you see that now with the shortages and all of that coming. So we know we at the end of this thing. All right. All right. So, you know, continue to watch and continue to be steadfast in his word, because the Lord is making good on his promises. All right, so I pray you brothers and sisters were edified. Until next time, I say shalom.